Rosie was a tiny puppy who was afraid of just about everything. Loud noises made her jump. Strangers made her hide. And the dark? Well, that was the scariest of all. But her biggest fear was water. The thought of getting her paws wet sent shivers down her spine. One rainy afternoon, the world outside was a symphony of splishes and as Rosie peeked through the window, she saw something that made her little heart stop. A tiny kitten was stranded on a rock, completely surrounded by a giant puddle that had formed in the yard. To Rosie, that puddle looked as big and menacing as an ocean. The poor kitten was crying, too frightened to move. Rosie's heart pounded in her chest. Every part of her wanted to run and hide. The water was her worst nightmare. But then she heard the kitten's tiny, helpless cries again. She knew she couldn't just stand there and watch. Someone needed her help. Taking the deepest breath a tiny puppy could take, Rosie closed her eyes for a second and then stepped into the puddle. The water was cold, just as she'd imagined, and it felt so strange. It was scary, but she focused on the little kitten. She took one shaky step, then another and another. Her legs trembled, but she kept her eyes on her goal. It felt like she was crossing a vast, cold sea, but she pushed forward. Finally, she reached the rock. The kitten looked up at her with wide, tearful eyes. Rosie gave a gentle, reassuring woof. "It's okay," she said softly. "Climb on my back. I'll carry you to safety." The kitten hesitated for a moment, then scrambled onto Rosie's back, clinging on tight. Slowly and carefully, Rosie turned around and began the long journey back. With the extra weight, each step was even harder, but she didn't give up. When they finally reached dry land, the kitten's mother rushed over, nuzzling them both. "Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're so brave," the mother cat said, looking at Rosie with incredible gratitude. Rosie shook the water from her fur and managed a small smile. "I didn't feel brave," she admitted. "I was terrified the whole time." The mother cat smiled warmly, a knowing look in her eyes. "That's exactly what bravery is," she explained. "It's not about not being scared. True courage is being scared to death, but doing what's right anyway, especially when someone needs you." From that day on, Rosie understood. Bravery wasn't about having no fear. It was about letting your love in your heart be bigger than your fear. And that's a lesson we can all remember. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.